Hello and welcome to Loving the Imperfect. I'm Brianne Trzynski. This is a continuation of my garden posts inspired by the works of Vita Sackville-West. So here we go. What milkweed helped me remember, with some insight from Martin Buber. If we are to take this hint from nature, it would be as well to dispose of the weeds first, to save trouble later on. Weeds in paths are a constant worry to those who have not discovered the ghoulish pleasure of using weed killer. That's from Vita Sackville-West, A Joy of Gardening, 1958. I love Vita's use of the word ghoulish here. The word ghoul comes from Arabic and was used to describe a demon-like character who hung around the graves of the dead, a being that was not quite human. To say that using weed killer was a ghoulish pleasure is a perfect way to say it was something out of character for her. The act of killing life in the garden was contrary to how she identified herself as someone who cultivated life in the garden. A couple of years ago, we discovered a milkweed plant in our backyard. Since, it has seeded many times over. Considered a weed at first glance, the milkweed has gained a new appreciation in my book. Because as I look at the milkweed a little closer, I open myself up to its world. I'm being invited into a relationship with the milkweed. This is looking at the milkweed with a contemplative eye, which invites empathy and compassion. So if I look closely at the milkweed, I start to realize how beautiful its shape is. The milkweed are survivors. They have a central taproot that tunnels straight down like a carrot deep into the earth. And they have rhizomes that also help them spread, which is why common milkweed is more prolific than the swamp milkweed or the butterfly milkweed that only spread by seed. Aside from this, they practically force pollination. They have slits in their tiny flowers in which the little legs of bees and other insects get stuck. They can easily escape, of course. But in the meantime, the milkweed has traded pollen with the winged creature. Like honeysuckle and lilac, the gorgeous scent of them wafts through the air these hot summer days, hoping to attract its soulmate, the monarch butterfly. These two practically share the same DNA, as the milkweed creates a safe haven for its eggs and food for baby caterpillars. The caterpillars climb and eat, enjoying their happy feast the whole way. The milk that is expressed out of the milkweed leaves, hence the name, is toxic. The fat little caterpillar is not affected, however, but instead takes on the milkweed's toxicity. It is this sap, which they have ingested since birth, that makes the monarch butterflies poisonous to predators, thus ensuring their survival, making them as resilient as the milkweed itself. I am in the habit, lately, of forgetting and remembering. I have my prayer life, my contemplative life, the life of a poet, a creator of imaginary worlds, and I also have to do the real things, like grocery shop, clean my house, pay bills, and get to appointments on time. Amidst all of this, our country is participating in war, and my thoughts about where I stand on issues I never thought I'd ever have to navigate are moving to the forefront of my mind, if they haven't already been there for years. I was visiting my aunt in her nursing home the other day, and a resident pointed to the television where the news was playing and said, "There's another illegal," which is what some in the U.S. call people who are undocumented while living here. I was struck by this because it indicated to me that in our volatile political atmosphere, people are starting to lose their identities as people with hearts and minds and childhoods and memories and stories. Name-calling, of course, is centuries old, but one would hope we'd be better at this by now. I, too, have fallen victim to this. When months ago I kept repeating, "People are more than their politics," to a committee of theologians, I now can't stand some people or be around them. I have othered them. In my anger, I had forgotten my own teaching that people are more than their politics. Then the other day I was reading Martin Buber's I and Thou, and he helped me remember something important. In his book, Martin Buber points out that we need to come into a deeper relationship with everything we encounter. We need to get past our relationship with everything as an it, basically labeling people and things by how they affect the I, or me, or how they are serving or not serving the I, or me. And instead, the world would be a more peaceful place if we come into relationship with everything as I, thou, contemplating and seeing everyone on a deeper level through a you relationship instead of it. His words brought me out of my anger and helped me remember an important contemplative teaching when he wrote, "World here, God there. That is the it talk. And God in the world, that too is it talk. But leaving out nothing, leaving nothing behind to comprehend all the world in comprehending the you, giving the world its due and truth, to have nothing besides God, but to grasp everything in God. That is the perfect relationship." And that is from his book, I and Thou, published in 1958. In other words, everything in and through God, everything in and through love. I read this and my eyes opened, my heart opened. Everything was clear again. It was like the spell was broken. I had forgotten this teaching amidst my own anger. I'm remembering again. We may point at the milkweed or other weeds in the garden and call it a weed and want to destroy it. Perhaps it doesn't match the aesthetic, or it reminds us too much of the wilds, but it's more than what it might represent. Its value ensures life on this planet. So for me, I'm going to think of a milkweed if my heart ever closes again. I am remembering, I love you. Love always bridges the gap between I and you. Thank you for joining me today. Bye-bye.